Tonight, we officially open the 2021 season with our first broadcast of the year. We will discuss changes to operations for 2021, tell you how you can become a member of Fantasy Sports Alliance, all of this and more in 20 seconds. Hey, fellow fanatics, welcome to the Fanatically Real broadcast sponsored by Fantasy Sports Alliance. And I hate being in this room all by myself. So I'm going to bring in the illustrious duo from the Average Bro show with me. Kevin, Josh, how are you doing on this opening week of 2021?
I am doing absolutely fantastic.
Amazing. How will you be doing? How will you both be doing next Tuesday?
About average.
About average, that's what I thought. Damian says, let's go. Absolutely needed to hear that tonight. Really was hoping to get Josh Hughes on here tonight so we could hear the let's go. For real. We got Maria on with us tonight. Maria, how are you? Sean says, we are back. Sean, how are you? South Atlantic Dragons regional champion. Happy to have you back on. And the general manager of the year, Sean Purcell. How are you tonight? Hey, so let's talk about these guys here, the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. Even though we've been gone for a couple of weeks from you all, these guys have taken no off season, as Brad and Eric did a breakdown at the wide receiver position on 20 February, which you can catch on our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter feeds. You can also catch that same show on their Anchor FM podcast, the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. The guys will be back this weekend, 5th through the 6th, going from Friday into Saturday at midnight East Coast time. And if you aren't already following the Fantasy Sports Alliance podcast feed on Anchor FM, make sure you do so, because once the 2021 season officially begins, the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast will be found under the umbrella of all of FSA streams. You go out and give any of their shows a watch or a listen right now as we move them over under our umbrella in 2021. We are going to make sure that all of their previous stuff, their past stuff, is under our umbrella as well. Right now, you can find them out on their social media outlets, all of them at Empty Wagon FF. And each one of them have a Twitter handle. And we didn't mention Josh on here, Josh Hughes, because he was not on the show the past week. I think he's actually been on vacation with the family in California. They each have their own Twitter handles, which should be coming across the bottom of the screen right about now. And if you can't find them, you're trying to find the show, you're trying to find those guys. If all else fails, go out to fsa-fr.com. Our website, which we're going to bring up here in just a little bit so you guys can see the changes to it, and you can find all of their information as well. Kind of already asked you guys how you guys are going to be next Tuesday, because you will be back next Tuesday. What is your guys' first show of the season looking like?
We'll let you know next week.
Do I get an invite? Can I come on the show?
I mean, we need a stat guy. You can always use one of those.
I guess I'm good for that on Tuesday nights, if nothing else, right? Bill the Third says Traquan's going to have a breakout year. I think that's directed more at you, Josh. Damian Gratt.
Somebody's got to catch those balls.
Yeah. Damian Gratt says, welcome back, Damian. We appreciate you. Chris Simpson from across the pond saying hello. And then Eric O'Neill saying, hit us up with questions. Eric, being one of the trio from the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast, make sure you hit them up with any of your questions. Hit them out on the Twitterverse and hit them up with whatever it is. Hey, microphone, how you doing? Hit them up with whatever questions you guys might have going into the 2021 season. We already kind of mentioned it already, but make sure you check us out on all of our platforms, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Go out there, like, subscribe, and follow us on all of those. And that becomes very relevant here in a little bit, because we're going to talk about some of the changes that are going to be made for the 2021 season, and Twitter being one of those major changes that we're going to have for the season. So we'll talk about that here in a few minutes. But before we do, we've got a special guest on with us tonight. Nobody's going to know who this guy is. And I mean, he doesn't even know who he is because he's having an identity crisis over there in the corner because he's got his name as Kaiser Soze. And all of the years that you've used that handle, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right because I've never watched the movie that's from. Rusty James with us, everybody. We're going to go into a little bit of history of why Rusty's here tonight here shortly. He might be known as George Russell James to the rest of the world, but for those who really know him, no, maybe not. He's just
let
Rusty.
my identity out, man. I'm trying to hide here.
I'm trying to hide it out. Sorry, my bad. Well, he's Kaiser Soze, everybody. Like the last 10 seconds of anything that I said. Rusty, how are you tonight, brother?
Great, man. I appreciate being on. I turned down Rogan to be here tonight. So
did you really?
Yeah.
That's all
awesome.
right. We're better than him, anyways. You had the better choice whenever you came over here to us tonight. So. I hit Rusty up a day or so ago, right? And I said, hey, man, well, I know you don't ever watch the show live. And I'm not even sure if you ever watched the show, post-recorded and posted out there on all of the social medias or whatever. But we wanted to have you on tonight for a special reason. I kind of let the cat out of the bag a little bit without really telling you what it was. I told you what it was without telling you what it was because I didn't know a way to get you on the show tonight, right? So I figured I had to let it out a little bit. So let me give a little bit of background about Kaiser Soze over there in the corner, right? So we've known each other since 1992. Kevin, I asked you just a little bit. I don't even want to ask Josh because I already know Josh is the younger of the two brothers. But Kevin, you were born in what year?
I was born in 95, 4 years before Josh.
Wow.
99.
Rusty, we're old. And I say this with all the love in the world. It's showing in that gray beard of yours. You are looking quite distinguished. We'll go with that, right? Quite distinguished with you tonight. So we've known each other since 1992. So over half of our lives, we've known each other now at this point. You've been playing fantasy football under what has now become Fantasy Sports Alliance since 1996 with your first team as the Waco Warlords was the first team name that you had. Yes. Was that the year that we have to put the asterisk on?
Yeah.
That's the year we have to put the asterisks on, right? So I'll explain that here in just a second. So let me know if I missed any team names. You've been the Waco Warlords, the South Park Visitors, the LA Assassins. I don't even remember what the Beach Bums were. There was some city in there, but I don't remember what that was. You might have went back to the Assassins after the Beach Bums for a little bit, and now you've been the Rum Runners for a while now.
Yeah.
Why do we have to put an asterisk on the Waco Warlords for you in the first year?
Because you cheated me. That's why.
What you mean? How did we cheat you? So, if I remember right, I don't remember where we hosted that draft. I want to say that might have been in one of my apartments.
Yeah.
I was in Bowling Green, right?
Yeah.
We asked Rusty, hey, we got this extra spot to fill. Do you want to be part of the FSA, right? Do you want to be in fantasy football? And at that time, you really didn't follow football that much. You were a big baseball fan at that point, I think.
Yeah, not really. Yeah. My family is big into sports, so
yeah.
So
we said, hey, Rusty, come on board. And he's like, yeah, I'll be the Waco Warlords, right? Because Waco was a thing, right? It was kind of recent. It was 4 years before, something like that. And Kevin and Josh, for the two of you that don't know, go check your history books to find out what happened in Waco. Yeah. Jesus. So we asked Rusty to come on board, and he can't be there for the draft. There's no cell phones in 1996. I can't call him long distance from the phone that's in the apartment. Yeah. So we drafted his team for him, and we were not kind.
Exactly.
Yeah, we skipped over some potentially good players to give it to the people that were live there in the apartment, and his team wasn't good.
Now, would you define that as cheating me? I would.
Yeah, baby. I mean, but we got an extra body that's in there. And seriously, have you missed a year since then? Other than deployment years and stuff like that, you've been a part of this thing since 1996, right? So that's been amazing. Despite that year that will always have the asterisk, you finished 4-10 that year. It's not a bad record.
No. My first year too. So
and in that time since 1996, with your regular season and your postseason, you have gone 128, 114, and 1. I don't know if you knew that or not. So you're actually 13 and a half games above 500 with a win-loss percentage of 529. You went to the playoffs in 1997 with a first-round loss. Playoffs in 1999, first-round loss. Seeing a pattern here. Playoffs in 2000, second-round loss. Playoffs in 2001, second-round loss. 2010, first-round loss. 2014, first-round loss. 2016, second-round loss. 2017, Alliance Invitational Tournament champion, though. And I'm pretty sure a trophy came along with that one.
Okay.
You were a 2019 Invitational Bowl game winner. You were a 2020, this past season, Gulf Coast Serpents, went to the regional playoffs, but was a first-round loss there as well. And you have to remind me, story time here. We sent you 2 trophies about the 2016 to 2017 or 2017-2018 seasons. Tell everybody what happened to those trophies when they got to you.
I don't know what you're referring to, sir.
What do you mean? You don't remember the trophies being broken? Not on purpose.
Yeah. Just like my team wasn't drafted on purpose to be crappy that first year. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I've seen a trophy too. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was like
No, they were jacked up.
that's 21 years later, man.
I'm like, what's up? Yeah, that's why I stayed in it.
I put a note on here as I'm putting the script together for tonight, and I know that there was 2 broken trophies that went to you, but I only remember the 2017 Alliance Invitational Tournament champion. What was the other trophy for?
I'm not sure. I don't recall.
I don't remember. We still owe you 2 trophies, and don't think that I haven't forgot. So before we came on the show, we talked about when Cheryl was a business partner, and she used to take notes, right, all the time whenever we would have these discussions. And I kid you not, at the end of every single one of our sessions, she would always ask, "Have you bought Rusty's replacement trophies yet?" I always said no, but they are coming, I promise. Before we pass this FSA thing off to the younger generation of Kevin and Josh here, I promise that you will get your trophies. That way you can have them in whole. So not only have you done the regular season and the postseason play with us and have had this great record and have been in the league forever, you've done a lot of contributing to FSA over those years. 2 big things that stand out in my mind is the very first website that we put together that was off of the WYSIWYG things, off of the Claris homepage and off of the all the different places that we hosted it, Yahoo and Angel Fire and all of those places where we originally started, right? You helped me with that very first website that we did I think that was present out there in the world from about 2015 to 2018. And we had that out there for those 3 years. And you helped me with WordPress, like really got me, and you and Lucy, both the wife, got me to really help me out with that. And then even more recent, later on in 2018, you started building a website. I don't know what you call it, like a PHP or an ASP at the time, to try to be able to get us to run FSA just like MFL does. And you had it working. It was working quite well. Yeah. But as we know, family is first, foremost, always. You ended up having a second child. And that took a lot of the time away from being able to do programming for that and stuff like that. Something that we will hope that FSA will one day get back to, right? But those are 2 things that you have done for us over all of these years, right? And we've known each other since computer science days. We used to stay up late drinking our crap ton of Mountain Dew and Hawaiian Punch to create these insanely crazy Apple IIe video games that nobody will ever know anything about. Survival was one of them. All of these things, right? So we've known each other for a really, really long time. So we put this to a vote in the offseason, just like we have been for the last 2 years, to see who we're going to nominate and then vote into the Hall of Fame for FSA. So you've been with us for all of these years. You've done all of these great things from a competition standpoint. Wish we could put a tag of a world championship on you. Just haven't been able to get to that point. But all of the contributions that you've made to FSA over all of those years and stuff like that, we put it out to the vote. The percentage that we say to everybody that is in the voting committee, plus those that have already Hall of Fame members get a vote in this. 80% or higher. Didn't even need to make sure that there was even a question because it was 100% across the board. So we want to welcome you to the FSA Hall of Fame class of 2020, brother.
That's awesome. Thanks, man.
Yep.
I would have prepared a whole speech and.
Well, how about we'll start with this? I like your jersey. I appreciate you dressing for the occasion.
How much room is that? Mine's not even tight.
After 20 some years, I'm sure it would be tight. Any words at all?
I want to win. That's the biggest thing.
Okay. So let me put this back in your court and rub a little salt in the wound. Your wife has now won it twice in the short amount of years that she's been in, right? And not only did she won it twice, she won it in back-to-back seasons.
I know.
With a really different rule set over those 2 years, right? And we've said it quite often that when she gets enough accumulated years that she's going to be a first-time Hall of Fame vote or a ballot winner. There's no doubt in my mind. Like I will fight to make sure that she gets in for that. But you're going in before her without a win. How's that feel?
Feels appropriate.
Appropriate. So
if it wasn't for me, she wouldn't be in. So it only makes sense.
So we're going all the way back to 1996 and how we screwed you in the very first year.
And to be fair, like everyone's really lucky in like FSA that she did have children, because those first 2 years she spent a lot of work on doing all these spreadsheets, pulling all this data in, crunching it all, because that's what she does, and that's how she dominated. But then, you know, the babies suck all the time away, so she doesn't have time to do that.
I do remember. Was it her first year that you guys came up to? Was it Scene 75? The very first year that she was in, that you guys came up into the draft. Different regions, right? We had just drafted in the Pac South when we were in Hawaii, and we came up. We're in Ohio. You guys came up from Florida. You just happened to be in the area that weekend because I think it was Labor Day weekend. And I do remember Lucy sitting there at the restaurant that we were at in Scene 75 doing all of her data crunching and stuff like that. The first of 2 championships, right? Yeah. Awesome. And you know what? It was actually outside of being on the broadcast. I had mentioned this a couple of times. Her getting into the playoffs again this year. Had she won your guys' region this year, she would have been my general manager of the year without a doubt. Especially with all of that she's done. So, and I think everybody, Kevin, I think you got everybody up on the screen, right? Saying congratulations to Rusty. On everything. All right, cool. Bill the third on with us. Bill, how are you? Ted's on with us. Damian finally made it in. Brian Lewis on with us. He's saying Castle Wolfenstein. It's got to be about the same year that we're talking about that we started FSA that game probably came out. So Twitter is where it's at, Damian is saying. So we're getting ready to go into some operational changes for the 2021 season, and Twitter is the first thing that we're going to have on the block. So, hey, Rusty, congratulations, man. I'm glad to have you part of the Hall of Fame. You are a 6th member inducted into the Hall of Fame. We had 1 member 2 years ago. We had 4 members last year. You are member number 6. Hopefully we'll get a championship before, we pass this thing off, like I said, to the younger generation. Would love to have you stick around for the rest of the show as we're going to talk about some 2021 stuff. Please interject anytime you want. We would love to have your input on here.
Awesome.
So yeah, let's get into these operational changes for the 21 season, right? Brian Lewis says it was an Apple IIe game. I think we programmed on the Apple IIc, right? I don't think we were rich enough to have the Apple IIe when we were doing all of our programming.
Yeah, I think it's Apple IIe. Is that monochrome screen? Everything? Okay. Yeah.
I don't really remember.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it was Survival. We'll have to go find that thing and see if it's still out there somewhere. So one of the things that we're going to change for the 2021 season, Kevin, Josh, please jump in here with me as well. Twitter/Periscope is going away. So Twitter purchased Periscope a couple of years ago, right? Periscope, when we first started using it, FSA was a 12-hour platform. Your stuff that you would do live would stay around for 12 hours, right? And then it would go away. They merged, Twitter bought them out or whatever. And there was an article that came out recently that said It's not working out. Periscope's not making any money. It's taking too much time for Twitter to keep it around or whatever. So it effectively goes away on what day, Kev?
March 31st, end of the month.
March 31st. All right. So
at least for new subscriptions anyway.
For new subscriptions, you're right. And it might stick around, right? We can continue doing FSA on it, but the writing's on the wall, right? If Twitter's doing away with it, and it is what it is, right? And with what we're doing here, we can be out on 3 platforms at once, right? So, but we have a multitude of different platforms that we can be on. So we have decided what's going to replace Periscope. And Josh, you'd like to tell everybody where we're moving over to?
I get to participate.
You get to talk, man.
So yeah, we're going to Twitch.
We're going to Twitch, yeah.
Yes.
So we already know Josh is on it, right? Josh has the Golden Boys over there. He does his gaming over there. Everybody can come out and watch him. We have a Madden version of it as well that is on, something that we're getting ready to talk about again as another operational change. But we will have a Fantasy Sports Alliance Twitch account out there as well. What we're going to do is we'll talk about the schedule here towards the end of the show, but we're only going to go every other week. So we'll do 1 or 2 more broadcasts here, including Twitter and Periscope thing. And then as of the first broadcast that we put together in April, we will move over to Twitch. So that give us a month to get our brand right and get ready to announce it. And we will make sure that it gets passed out in an email to all of our 2021 members so they know that they can't find us on Twitter anymore. That way they will have to go out on Twitch as an alternate way of being able to watch us. It should be a good move, right? We should be able to pull a few more people that way, different audience than what we would normally get on Twitch. So it should be a good thing for FSA. With that, Twitch kind of has this connection with this other chat app called Discord, right? Discord seems to be a chat app group thing for people that are gamers, right? It was brought to our attention by Chris Simpson, which is out here right now. He says, I got busy, missed everything since I said hi. Basically, we'll watch back at some point. Chris, you haven't missed anything other than us congratulating Rusty. So make sure you go out and watch The Bearded Wonder. With his acceptance speech. I'm sorry, Kaiser Jose, with his acceptance speech. So Chris was actually the one that brought it to us that we would switch over to Discord. And it's been great. I mean, we've only been on it for 30-ish days, I think now. It's a huge step up for FSA. I love it. I love that all of the groups are right there and together. All of the channels, they're there. It's got a nice connection with Twitch and a couple other things. Everybody can see when I'm on Governor of Poker playing poker online because of Discord. Thank you, Discord. But it has been great, right? So if you're FSA and you're out there watching this tonight, right, or watching it on replay, and you're still on GroupMe, hit us up. We'll give you the Discord link. We'll get you over there because that's where you need to be instead, because that's where we're going to be this year. We will keep GroupMe open until probably right at the beginning of the season as we try to get people over. We're still got 38 people that are sitting over in GroupMe from just the Redraft League that we need to get over on Discord. And we'll find out how many of those people we can get there. But please reach out to us if you don't already know what Discord is and you need to be able to join it. It's been great. We've got a channel for every single one of the groups that we've got there, all the dynasties, the Redraft, QB54 Arm and Leg League, our 2 new leagues that we're going to talk about here in a few minutes. Yeah, they're all there. So Discord, come out and find us. Rusty, I know you're not much of a social media guy. And I'm surprised we even got you on camera tonight, to be honest with you. Like, this is a rarity even for me to see you this way. But I saw you shaking your head when we were talking about Twitch and Discord. So I know if you've heard of and you're shaking your head that this is a good move, right?
Yeah, that's a good move. That's the platforms to be on. Like Twitch is huge. Discord. All the young kids know about Discord. So that's your market.
These 2 guys right here know about that stuff. You and I do not know about that stuff.
Yep. I know a couple of kids, and they got me on
it. Cool. Chris says you can churn stuff like that off. One thing I want to say is that the announcement page will become a focal point for shows and information. This is the one channel you need not to mute. It will be made only so only people who need can post stuff. So Chris has been able to go out and invite you into the channels that you need to be into. That way you're only bothered by that stuff. You don't have to go out and search for a whole bunch of other things. I have the ability to hit everybody up whenever there's a big announcement. Like Chris says, don't mute the announcement. I will make sure that there is very little put out there unless it needs to be out to the entire group. I will make sure that I pinpoint where my information needs to go to and reach out to those particular channels for you. So again, if you're not already on Discord, make sure you go out there and check it out. Next thing we got for operational changes, and I'm going to bring this into the stream right now, is a few of the changes that we've made on the website. And even though I love you all, I'm going to put this full screen, but that doesn't mean that you all can't talk. All right. So make sure you input as much as you can, especially what you like about the new website.
That's a beautiful logo.
Which
Yes,
logo
it
is
is.
that? Oh, we're looking at the Average Bros right now. You would like that, wouldn't you? All right, let's make sure that we can see all of the screen by taking our logo off there for a second. As you can see, we are going through each one of our turnstiles up here at the top of the 3 that we've got right now, with a 4th one possibly coming very, very soon. I want to start at the top of the page and work down and talk about the changes that we've made. So our social media icons across the top. We've already talked about being us on Twitch and Discord. You can see the 2 of them up here in the upper right-hand corner. That go ahead and join our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube up there. Click on those and take you to everything that is FSA in all of those social medias. Not much has changed on the home, the about, but the membership section. Click on this. It's going to take you a little bit further down in the page. We already have the Redraft League, the Dynasty League, and the QB54 League leagues from last year. We already know that they're there. The 2 new leagues, and we're going to talk about them each here in a little bit, is the Monkey Knife Fight Auction League. Kevin is going to talk about that one a little bit, in the VRV DOD League, or the Department of Defense League. That is out there as well. We're going to talk about those here a little bit further on. Click on sponsors. It's going to stay on the same page, but take you down a little bit further than that. Thank you to all of our 2020 sponsors that we had out there, and the 2021 sponsors that have decided to return. So far, we know the Recast Banner coming back. QB54 Arm and Leg League is coming back. They are sponsored, and they're giving that great prize away again this year. Finger Lakes Mercantile coming back. Southern Siren Sugar Scrub. Cranky Veteran Candle Company. A brand new one for us this year, Redwood Durable. And then Shell and Mel's is coming back as well. We are still trying to reach out to Football Dart, Nature Coast Tailgating, and Deep South Creations to see if they will be returning for 2021. And Kevin and I have a couple more feelers out there for sponsors for the 2021 season as well. If you're out there watching this right now and you would like to sponsor FSA, please reach out to us. The watch still takes you over to the YouTube channel. The listen will now take you to the FSA.fm or the anchor.fm FSA page. I'll go ahead and pull that up for you right now so you will see what that looks like for any of our podcasts that you want to go out and listen to. That's how you you can get to them. You can see all of the Fanatically Real broadcasts, or listen to all the Fanatically Real broadcasts and all the Average Bros. And starting once we kick off the season and we get the Empty Wagon guys underneath us, you will be able to listen to the Empty Wagon podcast there as well. And then the last 2 links, I'm going to give this one over to Kevin here in just a second. If you were to click on the shop right now, it would take you to our new shop page that we have. Kev, you going to take them there?
Yes. Once you click on the shop page, this will pop up. You will see the new shop starting top to bottom. If you hit We Are Fanatically Real and you would like to go back to the main page, it will do that for you once this loads. But while we're on here, we've got everything across the top in the menus. Every redraft team is now listed here in their 2020 regions. We will be updating this towards the beginning of the season when we know the 2021 regions. We know that we are aiming for the 8-12s, so it may look a little bit different. All of the dynasties are here as well. And then your shows across the top. At the top, we give homage to last year's world champion winner, the Chris Betts. And then right now we have our prize possession, the Traquan for the win t-shirt. And this is ever updating. We will be looking to improve this basically every day as we add new shows, new logos, new regions. all of the merch will update with inside of these categories as well. We will be also adding the other Walter images onto the merch, just as we had the Valentine's Day Walter. We will probably be doing much more like that within this category here. But since we have them on the show tonight, when you want to go in to find products of your team, first way to do it is down under the region and then find your team name, and it will pop up every product that is underneath your team. If you do not see a size, color, or product of anything that you might like, please send me a message or an email. Whatever way you want to get a hold of me is fine, and I will make sure that it gets there and you get what you're looking for. If you don't see a product under your team name that you think should be here, you can go to all products and see everything that FSA has to offer. There should be about 150 products and growing daily. Look at this.
Mm-hmm.
You love showing that one.
Yes, I do. If you want to shop specifically by team and you don't want to go through the 8 pages of products there, you can click on all teams and this will take you through a list and you'll see all of our logos across this here. There it is. Get yourself some Golden Boy shoes or t-shirts. And I know specifically for Chris, who's watching from across the pond, will be interested in this. Anyone that is outside of the U.S. and is looking to purchase, we do now have the option on the bottom of the screen here to switch the currency that it's in, and you can go to euros, Canadian dollars, Australian dollars, or pounds. And it will automatically update on the screen. That way you're buying in your currency and don't have to worry about using any type of currency exchange. And then if you want to go back home, just click on Walter and he'll get you to where you need to be.
So a couple of things I want to say about the shop. So the Chris Betts had reached out to me. Chris Franklin, who's our world champion last year, had reached out to me and said that he would love to link his store to everything that he does with his show. So Chris, it's there now. It's live. Please go out and do that. Also want to give an apology to Rocky if he's out there probably listening to this post. 72 teams last year, Kevin. And for some ways, shape, form, reason, somehow we left the Greenbacks off of the South Atlantic region as one of the only one that we left off of all of the teams that are sitting there. So make sure that you show that right now. Rocky, you are out there. You can get to the Greenbacks that way. Absolutely now. Chris does ask, does it add postage at the end of that for them, Kev?
Yeah, so what I'll do here is I'll run through a quick option as if you are going to pay. When you go to click on the product, these are all live. So if I wanted to purchase this shirt in my size, which I am a small, I'm going to go ahead and add that to the cart. I can.
Hey man, even Rusty's laughing at you, and he's never seen you before.
I can go ahead and check out immediately with Google Pay, PayPal, or Shop Pay directly, or I can go all the way through the normal checkout process. And this is where you are going to add the shipping information on here. Once you get through this will update with the shipping cost.
So one of the things that we have been trying to do for our guys that are across the pond, right? So we've got Chris that's in England. We got Brett that's in Australia. We've got Matt. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say where Matt is at right now because of Secret Squirrel stuff. And then we've got Anthony over in Germany right now. We will put for your guys' stores as close as we can to the person that's going to produce that stuff for you. So hopefully that will cut down on the cost for you. We're not looking at just domestic stuff anymore. We have the ability to have international producers of your guys' stuff. So they will be doing it in areas that should be closer to you, save on the cost to be able to get the stuff to you. So hopefully that will work out for you guys this year.
is you just have to let me know what it is specifically that you're looking for, and then where it is going, and I can make sure that it is in the most convenient place for you. And then all the way at the bottom here, just to make things match, please do sign up for our newsletter. This is specifically for the shop. What that will allow you to do is receive any new product emails when we launch something new. And we can also send out discounts and coupons and giveaways and things like that through there as well. So please do sign up for that. You have all of our social medias across the bottom here, as well as here on the side, the homepage, and the podcasts.
All right. Before I get back on the website again, I want to get this stuff off of here and get all of our faces back here because I wanted to ask Josh first. Josh, what do you think about the updates to everything for the year? I know you've had your hand in this of the ones that are in this room minus Kaiser Soze down there. You've had your hands in this a little bit more than anybody. Just wanted to see what you thought of the updates to the website, the shop, and everything like that for 2021.
I really like it. I love how the shop is coming along, and I love how identical that you guys made it to the actual website. So even though it does take you to a whole different page, it doesn't even look like you went away from the main FSA page. And currently I was sitting here trying to order me a Quan for the Win t-shirt, but I don't have my bank card.
I will say this, because I'll transition over to Rusty to ask him the same question here in just a second. Before I do, please show everybody the shirt you're wearing tonight, Josh. For those that are out there that are watching, if you're listening to this, make sure you go out and go back and watch this. We're at timestamp 3650. Fast forward to 3650 on the video, and you can see the Golden Boys t-shirt logo that we put together for him for his team for this year, this year. Great looking shirt. So Rusty, we've been doing this since 1996. I'm pretty sure that first year we were doing this was still pen and paper.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if we were quite USA Today anymore. I think we might have been able to do ESPN a little bit at this point to be able to see it. You've got to see where we've come from all of these years. What do you think about where we're at right now, website, store-wise, all of these things?
It's amazing. You guys are putting together the things we talked about for so long. We stayed up for so long, brainstorming stuff. Girlfriend's been to bed 4 or 5 hours and we're still up just BSing and talking about this stuff. And dude, you're pulling it off. It's happening. It's amazing. It's awesome to see this happen. It is so cool.
The next thing we need to have happen is we need to be able to, and I don't say this in a negative way, so if anybody from My Fantasy League is out there watching the show randomly because you stumbled upon us, we need to figure out a way to get ourselves off of My Fantasy League, and you need to get us a software package that's got Kaiser Soze's name on it, copyrighted, trademarked, so we can start running this thing under. I think that's the next step. In fact, the other guys that are in this room, we've talked about this recently, right? This is one of the things we need to get to. I'm appreciative that you've been here as long as you have. One of the things that I forgot to look at when I was going through your stats, we got Greg and Jason in the Hall of Fame last year, along with myself and Dad. I can't remember if you were just before both Dad and Greg, but maybe just after Jason, right? So you are without a doubt the fifth longest standing member that's been in this thing, and you've been playing fantasy football with us as long as almost as two of these guys over here have been alive now. So I love hearing that you like seeing how this thing is going. So hey, so let me go ahead, man.
First round though.
Say again.
So did Jason pick the Browns defense first round?
Different Jason. So Jason Hazlett didn't take it. Jason Honeyford did. Might have been that first year that you were 1996. It's so funny you bring that up.
I should vote for that.
It was 96 or 97. He took the Browns defense. He won the league that year, taking a defense number one. Not because the scoring system was crazy or anything like that. It just he ended up with a good team despite him taking the Browns defense with that very first pick. Yeah, it's funny.
You guys heard it here first. If you guys want to win the championship, take a defense first round.
Brown
No,
curtain.
you know what? We won't go that. You know what? That's a good reverse mind game for everybody that's out there, right? Go ahead and take that defense number one. However, we've talked about this inside this room before, and I think Rusty has even heard this before. We wanted to do in our 25th year of operation, but I think what we're going to end up doing is on our 25th year of competition instead, which is actually coming up, and I think in 3 or 4 years. I would love to go back to that original scoring system that we used in those first couple of years, 95, 96, 97, as a reflective for a year during our redraft. Go back to that scoring system. Lineups, roster makeup, the way we did the scoring, everything, and do that. So you've heard it here first. If you're around in 2 to 3 seasons once we hit our 25th year of competition, it's happening. I still have it out there, printed on a piece of paper and all of this stuff that's behind me right now. Pull it out and it'll be too easy to do. All right, so we kind of scratched the surface of this just a little bit ago, the membership part, right? So I want to talk about this a little bit more. So here are the 5 leagues that we offer this year. Of course, there's not going to be an Echo League. You're hearing it now for all of you that are on Discord that are begging for an Echo Dynasty League. It's not happening. And here's why. We're going to go right into the Dynasty to talk about it. So we have 4 Dynasty Leagues right now, 48 teams total. We have another 20 teams, 19 teams that still need to re-sign up for the 2021 season. The reason I say 19 and I made that face is we have an orphan team right now in Charlie Dynasty. We're trying to get somebody to come on board to take over that team. Damien has given me a thumbs down, and I can take that a couple of different ways. So you're going to have to let me know.
I think Damien should take the orphan team.
He's already got 2.
What's one more? What's one more going to hurt? It's a league. It's a league that both of us are in.
Look like orphans anyway. So I mean,
that is true.
Why not take a third one? I mean, I can't say much because the trade you tried to offer me earlier, Kevin, you have an orphan team as well in Delta League. Thank you very much. Oh, okay. I see what it is.
Your team is hot garbage. I don't know what you're talking about.
You're going 0-2 this year, and the New York Knights are moving out of town. All right, in the middle of the night. There's only enough room for one team, and it's the Hitmen, and it won't be the Knights. Go away. But anyways, right now we do have an orphan team in the Charlie League. So if you're out there listening to this right now live or later on, and you're in one of the Dynasty Leagues, membership is open. Membership is open for all of these leagues at the moment. But the reason that we opened it up on 1 March was our new fiscal year is to make sure that we get all these dynasties paid up. Once you do pay your entry fee into the dynasties, we will open up the ability for you to be able to drop players, not add, but drop and trade players among everybody that's in there before we get to the rookie draft that's going to happen on 8 May, which will be right after the NFL draft. The Redraft League is back, as always, the cornerstone of FSA. We're currently sitting at 21 members. The goal for this year is 96. Kevin mentioned it earlier. We're going to try to do 8 regions of 12 teams each. I think that means we're going to be able to absorb Rusty back into the South Atlantic region, which is where he is actually located. And right now, with the work that we're getting from Sean Purcell, the people that we can absorb back in, the 2 brand new people that we picked up in Florida, and everybody else reaching out to people that are in the South Atlantic region, I think we're going to have 3 Dragon regions this year. So I think we're going to have 36 teams down here in the South Atlantic. A couple years ago, Rusty, when we did the Golden Dragons, we did the Red Dragons. What we've been doing is we've been using the voting from when we did the mascots all those years ago, what was going to represent the regions. And we've been going who was first, who was second, who was third. That's how we're naming these. So right now, if we do get all 3 of them, that we'll have the Gold Dragons, the Red Dragons, and we will have the Blue Dragons for the third region for the year. Hello, everyone. Got in here for Echo League status. Mario, one of our newest members, just signed up this week. Mario, we appreciate you. Hey, we don't have Echo. It's not going to happen. Already said it. But we do have an orphan team that you can take over in Charlie League. If you would like to take that, please consider it. It's only $100. So it will be $50 for the redraft. If you're not already signed up, go ahead and get signed up. We got 3 brand new people already on board for that league. Like I said, we're sitting with 21. And the QB54 Arm and Leg League is back, sponsored by QB54 again for the 2021 season. The league still won't cost you an arm and a leg, but it's going to cost you a little bit more than it did last year. So it's going to be $20 this year versus $10. But with that extra money that's going into, will also go back out. So we'll be able to do bigger payouts this year for all of you that are in the arm and leg league. And you're still playing for that great prize at the end, which is the 2 chairs that Arm and Leg League has out there. And we will end up promoting advertising for them more and more as the season gets ready to go on. Brian Lewis says, oh, the 20105 team. Yeah, I saw that orphan coming. Everybody remembers.
The only way we knew that team.
Yeah, everybody remembers that he took Tua at 105. As soon as we say that, even the people that aren't playing in that league remember, oh, yeah, I remember that team now. But yes, that is the team. And the 2 new leagues that we've got coming on this year, the Monkey Knife Fight Auction League. Kevin, this is your baby. I want you to tell everybody about this league.
Yes, Monkey Knife Fight Auction is going to be a 14-team auction IDP league that we run. Caveat here is we do want to try to have all of the members to have a Monkey Knife Fight account. If you don't know what that is, it is a daily fantasy site without the hassle playing against all of the sharks and the big-time players. It is multipliers against the house in a prop bet format. Easy way to win money using code FSA on your first deposit. They will match up to $50 that you put out in play money. But in this league, as I said, 14 members, looking to have a ton of fun. As long as I am in there, unfortunately, no one else has a shot at Traquan Smith. Josh has got me on that train. I know he joined. I told him that he could buy Traquan Smith to match his T-shirt.
Is that a thing? Like Traquan Smith is actually going to go in the first round of this league as an auction player?
There's no rounds. There's no rounds. I'm just
going to put got
it. First pick, I'm making him $20 out the gate to make Josh waste that money.
So I have a question.
Yeah, to save my pride, I'll probably end up doing it.
See?
So we've got here on the screen, and I don't know if you said it as well, but in case people didn't see it, the Monkey Knife Fight does have a $200 budget for that auction, right? Not $200 to get into it. The league costs $60, right? So we're going to get into that. So everyone knows that it is the individual defensive player league as well. So something different for those that's their flavor in fantasy football, something that we've never had in FSA before. So auction and IDP all in the same league. I don't know, Rusty, if you or Lucy would want to branch out this year to do something like that. I don't know if that's your flavor or not, but it is there if you and the champ want to come on board. Now, the next league that we have for everybody, the veterans referring – say again?
That's disrespectful.
Yeah, I know.
Because he or his wife?
You said Rusty or the champ.
And disrespect me like that.
I mean, I've been calling her the champ for like 5 years now. I mean, it's a thing. When you win back-to-back championships, that just seems to happen. You know what? You all can say some stuff that you want. You guys, you know what? Do me a favor. Talk amongst yourself for a second, because I got something I need to show everybody out in the Alliance right now. You guys talk about the Monkey Knife Fight and the other 2-3 leagues for a second before we get over to the VRV DOD League. I just have to bring this up. You guys talk.
What are we supposed to talk about?
Anything.
Let's talk about Brian.
How bad your
wait a minute.
dynasty team is?
We might have to stop on that one.
Let's share some stories about Brian here. I got some.
Go for it, Wes. Go ahead while I'm looking, man. Go ahead. Share some stories about me.
Didn't you lose to the Unicorns this year, by the way?
Wait a minute. First off, I don't remember. Okay. It's entirely possible. Are you sure?
Yes. She stole your strategy. You tried taking the win out from under the rug because she didn't have 2 quarterbacks. She went out, got 2 quarterbacks, and then you lost.
So there's truth in the statement that Kevin mentions. I realize it's terrible to say, and I'm going to say it live to everybody. I looked across my team as I was drafting, and I realized that I did have my two best starting quarterbacks off on a bye week together, right? Which is only going to leave me with one starting quarterback. And I looked to see who I played that week. This is during draft week, draft day. And I was like, oh, I'm playing my wife that week. That gives me like 9 weeks to figure out a strategy to be able to figure out what I'm going to do with the quarterbacks. As we got closer and closer and closer, and I'm watching her team, she doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot. She's not worried about only starting one quarterback on a super flex. So I didn't worry about starting a second quarterback on a super flex, right? Night before, which is probably Saturday night late, getting ready to go into Sunday's games, I get a message because I get all of y'all's messages. When you add, drop, trade, do anything in any of these leagues, they all come to my email. I get them all. I see that she's made a roster move and she's picked up another quarterback because she's not going into this weekend with a second quarterback as a super flex. And Josh has his hands up. We'll get to you in just a second, Josh. So I do the same on Sunday morning, but I do it while I'm cursing her name because I just can't beat the woman. Like I can't. Every year I cannot beat this girl, right? So and she did it, and I made the same move, and I lost. And I think I lost. I'm not gonna go and look because I'm not gonna.
I'm looking.
I'm not gonna.
I already have it pulled up. I was gonna say I can
suck.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can confirm Brian did lose 156.04 to 89.32.
Oh my god, you didn't even break 100.
That can't be right. You're making that up.
I will share my screen if you want proof.
Can't be right.
What week was that, Josh?
Week 6.
Was it week 6? Okay, I was thinking it was week 9. In all of the years that we've played against each other, I think I've only beat Misty once, and it might have been last year. So, and Rusty can attest to this. For quite a few years there, when we would build the schedule, we made sure husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other played against each other twice a year, right? That became too much of a heartbreaker to see ourselves lose twice to our spouses and significant others. So we changed the schedules. So we would only match once a year because Rusty repeatedly loses to Lucy as well. And that was kind of more of an on purpose thing. I mean, it's good to be the commissioner sometimes when you can do that type of thing. Really? I really lost that bad?
Yes, you did.
Yes.
That's bad.
That is shameful. Really bad. But since we're talking about it, right, and you all want to rub in stuff, I got this thing right here that I'm going to pull up, right? Since I can't be the only one that gets their faces rubbed in or the nose rubbed in a little bit of bad stuff here. Does anybody know what this is right here? That is the poster that we created after Lucy won the back-to-back 2014
Nice.
2015 championships with the Crab Island Hookers there as the team.
Yeah.
The Crusaders 142 to 115, and then again the Hookers against the Pandas 93 to 78. So yeah, I just needed to share that. I can't be the only one that's getting rubbed a little bit tonight. Make sure you tell Lucy that at 53 minutes and 50 seconds we gave her shout out. Well deserved.
Yeah. I'll let her know that.
So, hey, let's talk about this VRV DOD league, and I want to bring it up for sure because we had Brandon Prince out there who was signed up for it. So the VRV league, baby, is also the owner of Deep South Creations. Brandon, how are you tonight? I don't know if you're still out there or not. So the VRV league is going to be exclusive to current and former military members. That's the very first thing that we're doing. It is going to be a partial keeper league. So it's not quite like our dynasties where you're going to carry over your entire roster every year. Okay, you're only going to carry over a couple of people. What we really wanted to do for the military people that are out there is give a military feel to this league. So when you're keeping your players, imagine you at a duty station. You're at your duty station for your first year, right? And you're seeing people leave, PCS as we call it, permanent change of station, every year while you're there. The people that stay with you because they got there with you about the same time are your keepers. You get to decide who you want to keep as your keeper. In the rule set right now, it's kind of a question mark of how many we're going to allow you to keep. It's going to be 3 or 4 is what you're going to be allowed to keep. But every 4 years, you, as the general manager of a team, are going to PCS. And you will be forced to go to another unit or another team, and you will take over general manager duties of that new team. Now, there will be a voting process of which team you would like to go to, rank them from first to worst, and then we will put an algorithm together that will determine which teams you go to. To even add more realism to it, like it's a military thing, we will actually cut orders for you and send them to you in your email to let you know which duty station you're going to or which team you're going to next. And then we will release the live broadcast after the fact of how you got to that duty station. The good thing about this league is there are no trades and no waivers. So for those people that this is probably their first league in fantasy football, you don't have to worry about the redraft. You don't have to worry about the waiver wire and all of that stuff. It's not best ball where you set it and forget it, but there will be a little bit of strategy to it. But you won't have to worry about trades. You won't have to worry about waivers. The rosters will be 24 players deep. You will start 8, and there'll be no kickers and no defense in this league either. So that is what we're looking at. And like I said, again, it's only going to be open to current and former military members. We are going to break you down into divisions or into regions, as we like to call them here in FSA, based on your branch of service. So you will play with other people than in your branch of service, and then we will play for the Commanders Cup at the end of it, the Commanders and Chiefs Cup at the end of the entire league. And I'm hoping, and Brandon might be able to help me out with this, we can reach out to somebody in the VRV that can make this trophy for us. Whether it's somebody that might be watching us right now or somebody we can reach out to and see if we can't have a traveling trophy with this league as well. With it being a partial keeper and a PCS, if you do sign up for this league, know you're in it. We hope at least for 5 years, right? So we've got you for the 4 years of play and then PCS to the next team or duty station. I'm hoping it will be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to this. And we will be pitching this really, really heavy through the VRV happy hour. Justin, I don't know if you're out there watching this right now or not. He is the owner of Veterans Referring Veterans. We'll be pitching this really hard during their happy hour to see if we can't pull the people in. I'm looking for 40 players for this year for this league as an
48.
entry. 48. We're going to go 40 to 48 because we want 10 to 12 teams per each one of the branches of service. Now, I do realize that the Coast Guard is still considered a branch of service, and so is the Space Force. But we're trying not to or worry to fill those two, but we definitely want to make sure Army, Navy, Marines, and Air Force get filled. So if you're out there, you're listening to this right now, you're a current or former military member, and you want to see what FSA is all about and play in a league that will be exclusive for you, come join the VRV DoD League.
And
go ahead.
For those that are not in the military or able to play in this league, please still do go out to veteransreferringveterans.com. The link is in the description of the show. It is a group made up of obviously all veteran-owned companies. So there's a lot of different great products out there. Personally, cheap plug, one of my favorites now is Valkyrie Beard Care. Obviously, I got to take care of my mane. Something that I bumped into just through casual talk with Brian. A lot of great stuff in there. Go check out everybody on that page.
Josh, you made a face at Kevin's great mane. Not a great mane. Rusty is
very
working
average.
on a great mane.
I get told
Very average.
Say what?
Said it's very average.
Very average. Rusty, what'd you say?
This is not average.
I said I get told to shave mine. I can't grow it out like that. It's too much for Lucy.
Yeah,
See, that's the thing is that Kevin doesn't have to worry about anybody talking to him about his beard.
Oh,
I have 16 months and 28 days left. It wouldn't matter if I started growing a beard right now. It would not look like either one of y'all's beards because my stuff just doesn't grow like that, right? It just doesn't.
You get that real good beard.
Can we have show mustaches?
I have this
Just
crazy
mustache.
regulation where I can't grow my mustache out the corner of my mouth. Like, so if it just grows right here, that's not a good look, man. It's just not. And
Just
I'll
mustache.
look like a homeless dude with this crazy mustache that an ill attempt to shave. That's what it'll look like, right?
We're getting website pictures with mustaches. I'm putting it to a vote now.
I can't do it, man. I can't. Like, I can't. And it's not because
Yeah.
and I won't. I can't because I can't grow it. I can't. I'm 45 years old. I can't grow a mustache, right? It just doesn't happen.
I'm barely a man.
I'm sad now. I'm like sad. So Brandon says, I've already signed up for the crayon eating division. He is a former Marine. Yes, he is. You know what? And Brandon, I don't know if you've ever looked at this before or not. Go out and look up CRE, crayons ready to eat, just like our MREs, right? So this guy in California has these things, and I've reached out to him to be a sponsor for us for a couple of times. The problem is the way that they make it, it's considered food. Like, I think it's colored chocolate is what it is that you're eating, but they're in the shape of crayons. They come in little boxes that look like MREs. The concept is amazing, right? But he can't ship it, like, because of all of the food restrictions and stuff like that. He hasn't got all of the, I think, the licensing and everything that goes along with it. So the only way you can do it is to go pick them up from them. But I would still, like, if we could get them as a California sponsor, that would be great, right? So it might be something for us to think about. I'll reach out to Brandon and talk to him about that. Him being a former Marine, we might be able to get some leverage with that. So let's see. Right now, I think redraft, we're at 21 out of the 96. Dynasty, we've had 28 of the 48 sign up. The QB 54 Arm and Leg League, we're at 12. We had 24 last year. I'd be completely okay if we brought 24 back again this year, but I would love to see that max out as much as we could. Yeah, like, so with that league, we could do all kinds of things with it as long as we have an even number of teams. And my fantasy league, MFL, will allow us to go all the way up to 100 teams. So if we get 100 teams in that, that'd be amazing. Kevin, your Monkey Knife Fight auction and IDP league is sitting at 9 out of the 14 that you wanted right now. And then the DOD, the VRV DOD league is sitting 5 out of the 40 that I would like to have, 48 that I would like to have. So they're out there. If you're looking for other leagues to join, if you're not already part of the FSA family and you're listening and watching to this and you're just looking for another type of league to play in, something that you've probably never seen before, where you can get your own logo, your own merchandise. You get to watch broadcasts like this. If you can't watch the broadcast on a Wednesday night, Tuesday night, Friday night going into Saturday, Sunday going into Monday, you can listen to us as podcasts as you're driving into work the very next day, because we will release or launch those at 5 o'clock the next morning after we do the show. So they will be there for you to listen to. Kevin, I think you said it earlier today. It's kind of like we are fanatically real, and the fanatically real thing. Now that I say this, I love that Kaiser Soze is here right now. I'm pretty sure that Champ was the one that came up with that tagline for us as well. Another reason that she deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, the very first opportunity that she gets.
Yep. She came up with it as, like, you and I were bouncing ideas back and forth, just da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And she's like, just kind of reject, like, man, you guys are like fanatical about this stuff. Like, how about fanatically real? Like, and it rolled like, oh, genius.
And has stuck ever since. I wonder if I could trademark fanatically real. I wonder if it's like too common of a thing, or too common of two words put together for it to trademark it. Tell her to look into that. She might be onto something. She could trademark it herself for us. It'd be just like the Washington football team and trademarking everything that could be possible team names for that team. Brandon says they make bubblegum crayons as well. That'd be something very, very cool. And he still says that he's waiting patiently for fantasy baseball to come along. We have done baseball 2 times in FSA's history. We can't do it on anything like My Fantasy League because it's exclusive to base or to football. If we could find something like that, we would consider it. But our conversations that we had with Monkey Knife Fight that day, Monkey Knife Fight says the way we need to go is basketball next. And
Yeah,
that's
they
always
said
been
the most.
yeah, that's been my want and my wish is to go basketball next. However, I do know that we have a family of princes out there that said that they will come on and play baseball with us if we do it. All right, before we get too deep into this show, we've already thanked all of our sponsors that are coming back next year for us, but I'm going to thank them again. QB54 being our Arm and Leg League sponsor, Shell and Mel's Boutique coming back as being one of our bowl game sponsors this upcoming year. Cranky Veteran Cano Company, same. Southern Sirens Sugar Scrub, the same. Finger Lakes Mercantile coming back as a bowl sponsor. Our newest sponsor, Redwood Durable, and of course, a recast of the official music of FSA. So let's talk about the schedule and what we're looking like for broadcast and podcast over the next couple of weeks since we just launched the season tonight, right? So we're going to do every other week here at the Fanatically Real broadcast until the NFL draft. So our next show won't be until the 17th of March, and then we won't be back again until the 31st of March. What we're going to do is we're going to overlap schedules between us, the Average Bros, which are here with us tonight, of course, and then the Empty Wagon guys. And we're going to put a schedule together of what that's going to look like. And we will post it out on social media so everybody can see when they can come and find us again. Kevin, I think the plan right now is you guys will be on next Tuesday, right? So next Tuesday is going to be the 9th. You guys will be on. And then I'll be back on the 17th. One thing that we want to put out there, and I hope the guys from Ignite Your Business might be watching this with us as well tonight. Fantasy Sports Alliance will be on Ignite Your Business podcast on the 7th of April. So if you don't know who they are, make sure you go out and look them up. They reached out to us in a connection with VRV. We had a very nice long 2-hour conversation a couple of weeks ago. They are trying to do their podcast themes every single month, right? So he said, you know what? What if we did a sports theme? Do you think you could help me fill each one of the weeks with some sports podcasts? And I said, yeah, I really think I could probably help you out with that. He said, what would be a good month? And me selfishly thinking April would be a good month. Why? Well, the NFL draft happens in April. We will be 1 month into our membership in April. Be a good time for us to give a little bit more of a spark, right? And then the Masters is right here in Augusta, Georgia. If we get to have it this year on the scheduled or the planned schedule when it normally happens, that will be in here the 3rd week of April as well. So why not do it then? He came to me today about a huge name retired NFL player that they're trying to land to be on their Ignite Your Business during all of that too. And I hope they land them. And I don't want to put their name out there right now because if they don't, I don't want to set them up and say that they're going to be on there and it not happen, right? All I can say is we're keeping our fingers crossed for them that they get this guy and it's going to be a huge interview with them. But we will be doing that on 7th of April. We will be back on the 14th of April and the 28th of April, which is the Wednesday just before the NFL draft kicks off on the Thursday, the very next day, 29 April, and runs to the weekend. We will be back again on 5 April, which is the Wednesday right after the NFL draft, which puts us on back-to-back weeks. And then we're going to decide at that point, do we stay on every other week up until the season starts, or do we go weekly as soon as we're done with the NFL draft? Then the Average Bros will be on offset for those weeks. When do you guys see yourself going back full-time every week?
Probably same time as yourself. Fill in the gaps. We'll just run the same schedule going on out.
Okay. You know what we need to do? What'd you say, Josh?
So what happened? What did I miss?
Hey, Josh, when are you going to do Twitch for us? When's your next Twitch stream?
I have no idea. I have actually been lazy. This whole March, I kind of stuck to the whole vacation mode. It's not a surprise. I don't see you helping out with it, mister.
This whole March, I've been in vacation mode. As I look in the corner of my computer screen, it says it's the 3rd of March right now. So you've been on
February. February. I'm sorry.
So when we were actually on leave from FSA or on vacation from FSA, you mean when Kevin and I were still working 30 plus hours a week? What were you doing?
Sleeping. Look at that bed hair.
I knew somebody was going to bring it up. Sitting on my butt, doing nothing, and
enjoying every minute of it.
Yes, enjoying every minute of it. Actually,
No, go
if
ahead,
you want
man.
me to be 100% honest, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to fill the needs of people here, and I'm actually looking up ways to do baseball. I don't know if anybody was interested in it. I know you said if you could find a way to do it. I'm trying to fulfill needs here.
That Brandon says he's got probably 16 to 18 people that would sign up for baseball right now. They are on Yahoo right now. They would move off of Yahoo. The unfortunate part is, and unless it's not out there, Josh, keep doing your research. If there's a My Fantasy League like we have for football that's exclusive to baseball, would be perfect if there is such a thing to get off those WYSIWYG programs. Rusty knows since probably 1999 or 2000, I've been trying to break away from these WYSIWYG programs. Also, about the same amount of time that I've tried to not be on WYSIWYG programs, but we ended up going over to them eventually anyways, right? Yeah. So like I said, we will post all of our schedules out on social media so everybody knows when to find us over the next couple of weeks. Of course, don't forget the NFL draft at the end of April. I think it's a week later than it was last year. So that'll be very, very exciting for everybody. And that will basically really kick off the year for us. Our dynasty leagues will start doing their drafts then. Weeks later in August, we will start doing the redraft. The VRV will start happening right after the NFL draft. And it'll just roll. Kevin, what is your guys' looking like? Your auction draft is live, right? So your bidding out there is going to happen in a chunk of time in one day.
Yeah, the way it will work is similar to a redraft. Instead of being in a snake format, when you go to and it is your turn to draft, quote unquote, you are just putting a player up to bid, and you have to start that person up. Started off with minimum $1 per player, and then everybody has a chance to bid on the person. We're probably going to do a 45-second, then a 30-second timer. Once that runs out, then you're finished. But you can't last second bid. Every last bid goes back to 10 seconds until no one else bids it out. And then you just go until you fill every position.
And you're going to do this draft live on MFL.
Correct.
Through the auction portion, right? Okay.
Yep. Similar if anyone has played in our auction or in our redraft leagues, it will look identical as far as how you'll go into a room to draft, except you're not making round by round selections. You're making player by player bids.
Okay, I'll be there. Like you know what I've been saying for you for this thing.
Yes.
I guess I'm a glutton for punishment. We made a comment earlier in the Discord league. I'm in the same boat as Rusty as many years as that we've been in here, right? Neither one of us have won one. At least you've got the Alliance Invitational tournament that you can say that you've got that, and you've got 2 trophies, and like neither one of us can remember what the second trophy is for, right? Maybe I should put the pictures up as our social media post tomorrow if I go back through my phone and find them. But neither one of us have won these things, right? So glutton for punishment. Let me get in this daggone auction league. I have to do this thing with you. All right,
what if we don't let you
in? Dylan says that he definitely wants to join. Hey, so Dylan, if you don't know where to go, fsa-fr.com, and I'll say it again, fsa-fr.com. Go out, hit whatever league it is that you want to join, sign up right there on the website. You know, it's something that we didn't walk everybody through. We're trying to get off of here for the night, but we're going to do this. Let me do another shared screen real quick. So since Dylan asked the question, so we can show somebody what it looks like. So you are right here, right? You're going to go in here. Let's say you're joining the Redraft League. I'm going to show Rusty how to do it because he hasn't signed up yet, just so he remembers how it goes. So you're going to go through here, and here's the registration process. You fill this all out. This is Jot Forms that handles it for us. You will click on each one of the leagues that you would like to be a part of, and then you hit Submit Form. Once you submit form, it's going to take you over to PayPal, and then that is how you will handle all of the payment at that point. If you don't already have a PayPal account, I don't think that it matters that you can be able to use your credit card in that spot. But that is kind of how it's handled on our side. But that is how you will join. Now, it does not matter. Let me go back in here one more time. It does not matter from the front page of FSA which one of these leagues that you click on. It's going to take you to the same spot. Convenience for you, Not so much for us as we have to program the website to make sure that it does this. And you have the ability to go in here and click on every single one of these leagues that you want to be into, and then you can pay it all in one spot, so you don't have to do it multiple times. So if you want to be in more than one league, hint to Rusty, you can do that. And I don't know if I mentioned it or not. We do have an orphan team, Rusty, $100, and it gets you in. And he does have the number. He does have the 101 if you want to, if you do want that first pick overall.
I believe Dylan is taking that team. I think that is who Damien had brought in for us.
Is it? Okay.
I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I believe I was reading in my messages in between breaks here.
Oh, is that what you were doing when you weren't paying any attention?
Yeah, well, I mean, you were going on long rants. I mean, why would I pay attention?
I feel like we brought Rusty on tonight, and Rusty's going to get off of here, and he's going to go to Lucy and go, "Can be on there for 75 minutes for nothing. The heck was I here for?" Hey, before we wrap this up, since we do have the bearded wonder here, hey, congratulations again on the Hall of Fame, man. Glad to have you in the class. Yeah, and tell Lucy her time's coming too. We just got to get her to 10 years of playing, and she's a first-time getter for me.
Thank you very much. Yeah. I'm glad to finally get the respect I deserve. Now I just need to get that big win. That's what's killing.
Sure the asterisk 4 and 10 season guaranteed you a Hall of Fame bid as soon as we decided to create the Hall of Fame, and you had enough years, right? So I think you were owed it. You're right, no doubt about that.
Keep getting close. I just can't finish.
Can't finish. Hey, that's a lot of playoffs, man. Looking over your roster right now, or looking over your career map or whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 playoff appearances, an Alliance Invitational Championship, an Invitational Bowl game winner, and making it all the way to your regional playoffs this year. That's impressive, man. Again, like you said, though, you need to get that one, right?
Yeah, it means nothing if you don't win. So,
well, and you know what will happen? The year that we're able finally to make it a $1,000 purse will be the year that you end up winning it, and it'll all be worth it. Actually, you know what? You say again.
So it's not the money.
It's just about getting it right.
Lucy's got two.
Which is why we've got to replace those trophies for you, man, because they were nice trophies. And this is why FedEx and UPS is better, because that stuff went through the normal post office to you, and you saw how it looked. So, well, I tell you,
that's box that rattled.
You know what? See if you go through your phone. I think it's on old phones for me, so I have to go through my phone. See if you can find them, man. If you can find the pictures, because I remember you got it right. And then the next year, you get it a different trophy, and you said, "You're going to be mad again." And that's exactly. Rocky said, "What is the FSA sign behind you, Brian?" So right now, Rocky, we are trying to get this person right here, Barbara's Decor and More. If you want to go out and look her up on Facebook, Barbara's Decor and More. We're trying to get her on board to be a sponsor next year. If you all are out there listening to this right now and you want to give her some homage, I don't know what that word is. I think it starts with an H, right? I don't know. Go out and follow her on Facebook, Barbara's Door, Decor, and More. Awesome. Trying to see if we can't get her on board. She will do something just like this for you. And you can get this for the greenbacks, especially since we left you off of the whole Shopify list of the teams. You can blame that guy right there for that.
He's on there now.
Yeah, he's on there now. But you did that to him. So
it wasn't on purpose.
Yeah.
I should have left your team off.
That's fine. You can leave my team off.
Your dynasty team, that is. We don't need that hot garbage on there.
I've got enough swag. I got the jersey. Lefty shares the same jersey. I got the 25th anniversary hat. I'm pretty sure you got the 25th anniversary hat as well. The only other guy that's got it. I've got the Monarchs jerseys. I've got the Nightbreed jersey. I mean, I've got Nightbreed. I got Monarchs hats. I got hoodies. Go ahead and chop away from it. Can't hold me back.
How many trophies?
You would think with all that merch you could buy a championship, but no.
Thank you for watching the Thank you for watching the Fanatical podcast tonight, sponsored by Fantasy Sports Alliance. If you like the show, please like, subscribe, and follow us on all of our social media channels. Go out and like these guys on the Average Bro and that other guy that's down there. Thank you to Rusty for coming on with us tonight, our newest member of the Hall of Fame. And we will be back on the 17th of March. And if you want to reach out to us, make sure you find us on all the social media and out on Discord. And you all have a great night, hour and 20 minutes. Let's get the heck out of here. Have a good night, y'all.